And we are back for another episode of Two for the Culture. I'm Justin Devonte.
I'm Stephen Ray.
And we are back for another episode. What's going on, man? How you been?
What's going on? I feel alive.
You do?
Yeah, I feel alive, man.
Why is that?
I finally got to step outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is how people live. That's crazy. You know, I'm really, yeah, it adds some level of energy to my life. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay, so what's been going on? What have you been doing?
I went it's a whole list. I went crazy. Where did I go? I went to, first place I went was Jeff. No, it's not. I almost said Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Ruby's
Steakhouse.
Okay. Yeah, you went there today?
No,
okay.
That was the first place I went. I went to Frothy Monkey a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a nice coffee spot.
Mm-hmm.
Went to see Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
I like that movie. I did.
I'm gonna go see Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna join on that. It was. We'll come back to that. But where else did I go? I went to this place called Bloom. You know what that is?
I've never heard.
Well,
of
it's
it.
Bloom at something Thompson Hotel at the top. It's a rooftop bar. I went there. I went to a speakeasy. I went to Skulls. I went to, I think, another speakeasy. I got chopped. Got my hair off. It's crazy. New chop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look like a Rayford McMurray.
Rayford McMurray. Well, who is that?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't be watching basketball, so I was like, oh, he be hooping?
You know, because you go by Ray, so I was like Rayford.
Yeah, went to see Kaya, and took her to a couple places. We went to this jumping place for kids, this arcade place. She beat me every time at skee ball. Like, I'm trying to win.
How old is she now?
8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's left-handed, so I kind of like felt a little better. I was like, I don't know. I've always heard and seen left-handed people just do shit better.
Okay.
Than other people, but she kept winning. I was really trying. Yeah, damn. Yeah, I had to throw in the basketball game just to like feel better. But yeah, went there, the jumping place, then bought her some toys or whatever from Walmart. And yeah, just been outside.
And she has a play or whatever?
Oh yeah, she got a play on Friday.
Okay. And
she's in Peter Pan. She's a mermaid.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's gonna be cool. She says she's really nervous. You know, yeah, I'll call her a couple of days before.
How many lines is that as a mermaid?
She keeps saying she doesn't know. Like, I don't want to scare her.
Well, yeah.
I feel like
she's nervous.
Yeah. Anytime I bring it up, she's like, I don't know, I'm really nervous. And then I'm like, damn. Like, I know these type of things are something that you gotta do it first, and then you build your confidence.
Or it scars you for the rest of your life. Yeah.
And my dad was there too. But
as he should be, but like those plays is like, I hope she's practicing. I'm sure they're rehearsing and everything.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not that many lines.
Was you in plays?
I was in small stuff like that. I was in small stuff. I remember, you know what I'm saying? Keep on turning. Proud Mary, keep on burning. Rolling. Yeah. Rolling. And I was in a choir.
Okay.
And I was in something to where you like, ding, 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 ding. I was one of the kids
xylophone?
on the xylophone out of many.
Yeah.
I was in a couple things. Not necessarily a play with a line, but the only time that I remember being on stage like that was those type of things and a spelling bee that I almost won.
Okay.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I was 4th.
Yeah,
so I could have been top 3.
Yeah, I was like, but it's Memphis, so.
You said what?
Nah, I said, but it's Memphis.
It's Memphis? Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm really shit out of luck then.
No.
No, shout out Memphis.
Nah, I just joking.
Nah, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Nah. Public school.
Yeah.
P. Nah, that was too funny. Have you ever been in a play or on stage?
Yeah, nothing like one word liners. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's.
Yeah.
All she.
Nah, that was never my thing. Never nothing
Yeah.
I was interested. I never wanted the attention to be focused on me to do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not usually. Well, I guess it is when you're up there. Yeah.
Like I'm just saying to want to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah.
In that time frame, no.
Yeah,
That shit is scary.
Yeah, I only do stuff like that if it's like when I'm called upon. like, hey,
Profit.
bro, we don't got nobody. We need you. We have a week. You know what I mean? And they're like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'll play assist man. I'll be the person who aims the light. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll be the cast, the sweet crew. Yeah.
That makes sense. That's kind of how I never. I was always scared. I always had stage fright. Like always. I don't know if it ever ended. Really.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it ever ended.
Yeah. And I've since got somewhat better in my public speaking, not just because I have to do it so much. So as long as I kind of just like somewhat prepared to kind of do it, then I'm good. Like even when our boy Jalen, when he got married, just speaking in front of I was like, I have when before it happened, I was like, I'm pretty sure that one of the groomsmen, best men's gonna have to speak in this, so let me have something mentally prepared, like something I know where I'm going with it, not that I have this totally things fleshed out. I was like, oh, let me at least speak on this moment.
Yeah.
Because what was tough about it was, particularly was I didn't spend much time to the bride, now his wife. So it was like, okay, what story can I tell? But that has them both tied to it. And then I brought up a moment to where I saw him pray for the first time, and it was with her over the phone. Yeah. Damn. So yeah. And so I was like, I made like, it's always going to be something funny, and it's like I put myself down moment because I try to sound humble. I think I do sometimes, but sometimes I can be a know-it-all and be arrogant. But yeah, for sure.
I don't remember you being like that. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. But it depends on who you ask, so I try to at least acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was like, it was this girl that was her friend that she was trying to kind of put me onto, and I told the joke, I was like, and I said at the moment, I was like, hey, Jalen is the person who always got it. I had to tell somebody that I talked to, like, hey, let her know that I don't got it like that. Yeah. And then they kind of lighten up the crowd, and then I was like, yeah, and I was like, I highlighted him, and then I was like, for her, when I knew there was one, because when I walked in the room trying to play the game, and then I walked into him praying. I've never seen Jalen pray. And I was like, to have somebody to completely match what he brings, it's more than, what a friend could ever ask for. Yeah. And it was like a moment,
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That, have you ever prayed over or with anyone?
Yeah.
For real? So it's just like a moment, just like walk me through it. Like, what did you say?
You talking about like in a relationship?
Yeah, like in a relationship, like, you know what? Let's just like how did
like
that go?
we say a prayer at night. Yeah, so I will. Not that I'm like the best prayer person, but it'll be just like, sorry, I'm getting tangled up. So it's just like whatever the situation, pray for us and our relationship, help us continue to grow stronger. Like, dear Heavenly Father, please be with us in our relationship. Help us continue to grow, continue to understand each other. And then we'll just go into the prayer of our friends, our family. Yeah. Any particular person we have on our mind. Like, hey, pray for this person and their relationship as they're going through a tough battle at the time. And then you'll be like, okay. And then you'll say amen.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately for some time, when I look back on that type of stuff in relationships, it ties into that stage fright thing. I mean, I've eventually. Well, I will have to get over that as I progress, but just thinking about it, that shit did. It felt the same.
Yeah, I
it felt
understand
like
that.
I'm in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
And I gotta lead this thing, and
Not stumbling over it, but that is a part of one. I did that too. Yeah. So don't get it wrong. You're going to do that because you're going to. You're saying prayers, so it's freestyling. That's like you saying, yeah. That's like you said. Hey, I make the best freestyle every time I get on the mic. That's just impossible. You're going to stumble over yourself. Even when you hear the J. Cole freestyles, he's a hip hop, elitist. Yeah, but he'll stumble over his words.
Yeah,
and like F. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're gonna yeah, you're gonna have those moments. I did that a million times.
The only time I remember thinking about it like that was like in front of like their family. And then they'll kick it off to me. Clearly a test, but like like at a dinner or a brunch or whatever. And then that would happen like 1 out of 15 times I was around. But when it did, I was like, oh shit, I'm up.
Oh, yeah, understood. Yeah, and those, it depends on the situation, but it's once you start praying, it's just the go-to. It's like for Thanksgiving, you're like, dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together for us to have a family meal. Thank you for allowing us to get here safely. Please bless our hands and prepared it. Please be with us as we leave and depart. And then you just be like, and then you have your whole thing. Exactly. Yeah. Say the generic thing. Yeah. Pray their hands, pray over us. Yeah. Be guide us. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same things. I say when I close out on our lessons, I literally probably say the same thing verbatim. Like I'm like, thank you for allowing us to have another lesson. Thank you for allowing us to come together. Please be with us as we go about the worship service. Let me please accept your sight. Jesus' name I do pray. Amen. I've said that literally every single time. I like, why switch it up? That's exactly what it is. Thank you for allowing us to have a beautiful lesson. Please be with us as we go about. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, I should have some go. I mean, I actually do. It's like when I open up my mouth and then I'll talk. But I just said that because I just remembered being at those instances, not necessarily with just me and her or whoever it is, but just more so like those small moments where like I'm in front of the family and then it's kind of like, oh shit, all right, and then
yeah. I think they respect you. You get more respect when it's fluid, but at the same time, I think they respect you when the attempt is there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
but of course that doesn't help. I mean, you're gonna be It's a little nerve wracking. You're in front of everybody, and you're trying to make a good impression.
Yeah,
and definitely if it's not a thing that you do.
I didn't fail. I didn't fail or nothing. It's not like I ain't been to church ever, or like been around a religious family. Right. But that was just a moment that I remembered that I realized. Yeah. So how you feel about the fasting? Did you?
Oh yeah. Is
it getting easier or like? Well, just explain like what it is.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting. So I've been fasting for like 3 or 4 days now. So I'm a 18-hour fast. So it's pretty much water based is what I'm drinking, and then I'll drink like carbonated water, which I make sure I check with ChatGPT and make sure that's still a part of fasting because you never know what blocks in. You can be little things. So
I had like honey in my water. I was fuck. I didn't know until I looked it up.
Exactly. So I'm even not scared about doing like
heroin.
Definitely that with a part of the fast, but like chicken broth and doing my mushroom mix with it. Yeah. So I have like chicken broth that I'll make in the morning sometimes. Then I put mushroom powder in it, and then I'll put this collagen mix in there. And I don't know if this will break it. Type of thing. I probably should look that up too.
It's definitely breaking it.
Yeah, but
but it's not. I mean, it's not bad at all. That I did that to break my 7-day fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta like do it easy. I will say that I didn't bring up the day after the day after my 7-day fast, I did have some beans. And again, like I'm not eating anything for 7 days. My heart was beating hard as fuck when I was eating them beans. Yeah.
Was you that hungry?
No, it was like, it was weird. It was like, it was really weird, bro. It's like, you know how like if you run and that shit like, doom, 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 doom. It wasn't fast. It was slow, but like still that hard. And I was just like, yo, like that shit was like, you can't even do nothing. You just sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I will say that, but I think that I should have broken it a little bit more slowly. I'm going to break it a little bit more slowly next time.
Yeah.
I think I was just really excited. And I saw videos of niggas jumping straight into full course, big ass meals. And after that happened to me, like, I'm like really going to chill a second. Also, randomly today, I was scrolling, and there was a guy who did a 3-day fast, and he passed out in Hobby Lobby. So
okay,
yeah, maybe we should all like be very, very aware of how we're doing these things.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everybody's circumstances are gonna be different.
Yeah, no, I think he just hopped straight in. Like what you're doing is a good way to lead into that if you wanted to go that route, because now your body would just be used to not eating for a while.
I've only fasted for like a true fast, like just water. Like maybe I wouldn't even say 2 days. I would say a day or so. Yeah. That's actually extremely tough. 7 days. Never got close.
I think it just builds up.
Yeah, like not eating, I've did that for a couple days for real, but not like a true like water break. I'm sure the way I did my fast with not eating was definitely not the right way, but it just wasn't having food. So I had that, but not just like a straight water fast is extremely tough.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It is and then it's not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like working out. It's like, it's kind of, I think the word is what, relative?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just it depends on which state you're in. So it's like what you're, like I said, literally what you're doing right now can gear you up to do that shit for 3 days.
Right. And I also see the difference on like how much I'm able to eat. Like the thing, yeah. Like even we went to Jack's Barbecue. I had the beef brisket plate, and even then I was content off of that for a while. And normally I could go back into eating another meal within a couple hours. Like I could tell that one would have satisfied me for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's
your body builds a new habit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's what's up. So it's definitely working.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I just need to, because the easiest part is going. Once I wake up in the morning, I'm good. So it's not like I'm starving. It's like going into the night and not eating. Because I'm working late sometimes. So like I'm tempted to eat at 1 in the morning. But then once I sleep on it and wake up, I'm totally fine.
Yeah. That is a thing. It's that habit shit. That's the main thing that made me realize that, like when you saying like that's super hard, and that I was saying that a year ago. Like I was when I used to have talks with my homie Ken about it, and he knew people that fasted for 7 days, fasted for 30 days. I'm like, you're a superhero. There's no possible way that's possible. Because I did it for a day. I did it for a day and a half, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Absolutely.
this is fucking
30
wild.
days is a very long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's like I remember feeling like that. I remember my body feeling like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? And when I was here, and I got to 2 days and a half, and it felt like my chest was caving in when I wanted to take a nap or go to sleep. I'm done. And then, I was fucking done. And then later on, there I was doing 7 days. So I don't know. It's relative. I feel like it's just the same thing with anything else. You just like, you build your body up to it, but you literally cannot. It's like your body is literally what you do with it. So if you eat all the time, it's gonna crave that shit all the time. It's gonna crave sugar, sweets, whatever, coffee at a certain amount of time. Yeah. So caffeine.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah. Did you hear what just happened to Tory Lanez?
No, what happened to him?
This nigga got stabbed 14 times.
Oh, wow.
Not kidding. Like
who did he piss
today. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, it said like 7 times in the back, I think 4 times in the front, twice in the head.
Damn.
1 in the face.
What? Okay.
Did that add up to?
Huh?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. No, I didn't hear about that at all.
Yeah, and he's like, I think he's on a breathing machine right now.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But they don't have any details of what happened besides him getting stabbed, of course.
I think there was one post maybe like 8 hours ago, sometime this morning, said that he was maybe like hospitalized or something, and then right before we started recording, maybe like 20 minutes before, a post went out on his page saying all of that.
Oh wow, that's pray for him.
Yeah.
That's a special prayer for him in this situation. Fuck? Yeah, because I mean, I was always leaning on the side that he did do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I've mentioned that he's had anger management issues, and we was always going back and forth on the old podcast about it. And I was like, I said if I was his lawyer or somebody who was on his team, I would have told him to take the plea deal, and he would have been out by now. He just wouldn't be able to come back. He'll be just deported in Canada. I was like, bruh, the U.S. is not that lit for it. I was like, take the plea deal. Don't take your chances. You won. You know what I mean? So go ahead and, plea out on this. He didn't do that. Now he's there for a long time. So it's unfortunate that, of course, I don't think he deserved this. So, yeah, that's a lot. But it's also prison, so... That's a part of what comes to the territory. No pun if that's a pun. Territory. I don't know.
Tory.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
I was searching for it.
Yeah. But nope. Okay, you're fine. Yeah. But yeah, so it's that's. He's one of the most talented musicians of our generation.
Absolutely.
There's no question about it. I wanted to see him free. I did not want him to go to jail, but I just believe he did it. And I just wanted him to get the help to get anger management. Now, I don't know if he's getting the help in the prisons or what he stirred or what happened in the whole situation. I don't know. But is it shocking?
I would think. 14 times?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But also the situation...
I haven't heard. There's no way to tell fully everything that's going on in the pods. There's no way to fully tell about all that. But I guess the only information that I have gotten is literally from him only, from what's happening in there, and clearly, of course, is him helping out a bunch of people that's in, I guess, that specific pod.
Yeah.
So in many ways, and I think maybe getting some people out of jail or like helping them with their sentences and a lot of good things. So and again, that's clearly one-sided information. I don't know what's happening in there with the other stuff. So for me, it was just like, I thought like niggas in there loved him, or at least was like, even if I did have some type of beef, this nigga can probably get me out of here.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
So, yeah. So, for me, it was just like, they're trying to kill your ass.
You think it's the system?
Oh, no, I don't know what it is. I'm just saying, like, it was just very shocking to me because I would think that no matter how mad I am at this dude, if he's basically one of the only chances I got to either get out of my sentence is knocked off or like whatever. Again, that's like for the most part. That's not everybody that's in there.
Yeah.
It just kind of threw me off because that was the only narrative that I was getting from.
I see.
Only his side. But.
Yeah. I don't need. Well, so my dad went to prison, right? So I have a different view of how things go.
Yeah.
And my dad, he told me stories, and people just say ain't right mentally.
Yeah.
Like he told me about a time to where he was playing space or whatever, and then dude, this sounds like some crazy wild shit. A guy threw another man off like the second or third floor of the balcony, or not the balcony, of the level, and then he jumped down on his head and squashed his head like a melon, and it splatter went all over the place. So he threw him off and then jumped on his head and squished his head like a melon.
How did he perfectly land on his head?
That's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds. Yeah. And then so my dad, of course, it ruined the card game. Yeah.
That's the main thing he remembers.
Yeah,
we had to.
Yeah. But what he said is like, he didn't need to be out there with everybody else anyway. He wasn't right in the head. That's what. So my dad told about the dude, like, and then they put him in there. You ain't never saw him again. So those are the things, like, people literally just ain't mentally right. Yeah. So yeah, people can love you, but a lot of people ain't right in there to think like logically, like, hey, Tory is somebody I can use to help me get out of prison. Some people just don't think right. Yeah, they don't critically think like we do, which is sometimes really shocking, because I'll be hearing things to where I have family members like, I never thought of that, and I'm like, that was like the most simple thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you never thought of that. Yeah, so it's like some people just not really critically thinking in that way, and not only that, people are very prideful too. So relying on another man to help you is a prideful act.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, you got to be very humble to do that. That's very tough for me to do.
Facts.
Yeah. So you have that aspect of it too. And then not only that, I don't look at Tory Lanez as a Martin Luther King. Yeah. So for him to do him things, it's like, yeah, that is very noble, and I'm happy that he's able to do that. But that's also very much a PR stunt, and and it's a good person. I don't want to diminish that, but it's a good person thing. If I had the money, I'm sure we would all lean towards that. Like, hey, bro, you out here justly. If I got 5,000, I can spend towards you to get out of here. Yeah. That's and also, if that's a PR stunt, I'm cool with it. I'll let you have that, because that's still a noble thing. So I sound like I'm doodling on it when I shouldn't. Yeah, but since I've seen this other side, since we had a lot of debates on Tory Lanez, there's so many times to where I've seen him do things that just wasn't helpful. Like when he had punched August Alsina in the face, and his court case was coming up. Yeah, and I was like, that could be the dumbest. You're on trial for like a spur of the moment type of thing. And then you're on trial knowing what this means, and you do this at that time, literally shows that you are very highly reactive to situations. Because just because he did not shake your hand, you punch him in the face when you're about to head to trial. That's absolutely insane. You just did a violent act and showing you have a history of violence, and so you added on to that. So it's just, so there's no telling if he never got the help. There's no telling what could have happened there.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. That timing definitely was a little off for sure, and there was a lot of things that was coming out that was a little off for sure. I still don't know fully, like,
of course we wasn't there.
Everything, yeah, but all we get to hear is like he didn't shake his hand. I feel like there was more to it than that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could have walked away.
Well, yeah,
because
it can only fuck you up.
Tory Lanez got kicked off the tour. So nobody kicked off August Alsina. So yeah, it wasn't like, you know, it was a situation. People who saw it was like, okay, that was a wild situation. So since he got kicked off the tour, that was saying that he was in the wrong. Now, and nobody said that Alsina fought back. Yeah, that wasn't the thing. Yeah. He like, bro, this dude just punched me in the face because he talked about me and my situation when I had with Jada, and I didn't want to shake his hand when I saw him. I was like, no, we cool, keep it that same energy. And then you left, then came right back and punched me. Like, that's, regardless of how you want to shape it up, you should have left that moment given your situation. So you're not critically thinking. And healing, I'm not saying that he is that same person, but I also can say that healing is not linear. You know, so you're not going to go to a straight path to healing. There's ups and flows of it. So you're going to be very much healing is a forever process.
You're right.
Yeah. So whatever happens, trigger you, and niggas ain't getting stabbed all the time for real.
What you mean? Like in jail?
14 times?
Yeah.
Boosie was in prison for however long. He had the Coca-Cola in the shower, Coke in the shower type shit. You know?
I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah. And he was in one of the worst prisons. Wayne, Gucci, a lot of celebrities making it in prison for years. And that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. Not to say everything's different.
It could have been like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but I'm also putting 2 plus 2 together.
So you think that it tied into his whole situation of why he got in there?
No, I'm just saying.
So what's 2 and 2 together?
The 2 and 2 together is somebody who has a history of reacting violently. Probably
he reacted did something.
Probably.
And then they was like, okay, bet.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same story. I mean, okay, I'll put, not to say names, but a different prison story. I was talking to somebody, and they was telling me about a different prison experience on when somebody took their things, and that person was like, he took my stuff, and I didn't want to stab him. But I had to show people I wasn't no punk.
Yeah.
So I had to stab his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I didn't want to, but you do the things because it's prison. Yeah. So everybody would be punking me.
Right after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the type of, prison is prison. Not to say that Tory was wrong. I have no idea, but I also can look at your history and say, There's odds are there you probably had, it wasn't just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is something stemming. The people are crazy, so I'm willing to understand that I could definitely be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, he may have did something to where that happened, and did he deserve to be stabbed? Probably not, but
yeah.
It's prison. Yeah.
It's a different.
It's different rules. The rules apply differently.
Absolutely.
And then you can be above yourself. You could be a celebrity and act like a celebrity in prison. Definitely, if you're doing a lot for people. Who are you to come to me? Like, hey, can I get a picture? Hell no, F you.
Right.
I'm just saying something. You know what I mean?
No, there are a lot
Troy
of
rap for me.
He
could have been easily offensive. Hey, spit a freestyle, little nigga. Dude got, he's like, who are you? And then they exchange words to the stab. It's so easy for things to happen. You're in a room full of testosterone, bro.
It is. I can't see myself there at all.
I mean, yeah. I can't see it either. It's unfortunate. I think the world of Tory Lanez's talent. But I can remove, myself out of it and say, hey, it's prison. I don't want to see this happen to him. Mm-hmm. I just hope that, he has a safe recovery. Hopefully, Lord willing, he will be able to get out and make it out and be a changed man and grow from it and continue to make great music.
Yeah, no, for sure. I could only assume that would change anybody, goddamn it, or at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
for the better, because prison is always not a it doesn't make you a better man every time. It can make you a killer,
man. That's another reason why I don't I don't fully agree with it. I don't fully agree with the whole system of it. You know, I feel like it can only do something detrimental. Not only, but there a a big percentage of the outcome I feel like can be detrimental to a person. You know, rather than just letting them grow. And I feel like the main thing of the positive that can happen is maybe one, they might find God. Two, they don't want to go back.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, that could be like the main thing. But the other shit that you have to deal with while you in there, bro, like I be trying to put myself in the right environment outside. Like I be wanting to elevate, so I'm like, man, let me see what these people are doing on this side of town. Or let me get the energy of these people. That shit would change me. Like absolutely. So I don't know. I get like putting people away and all that type of shit that need to be put away, but I just feel like some things it doesn't solve. I don't know. It can. I saw this thing one time. It was 60 days in. You know what that is?
No.
60 days in is if like if you go to jail, right? And I think it was 60 days in. No, world's worst prisons. So this guy, he goes around the world and then he goes into different prisons and then he sees how they are on the inside. So if he goes to, let's say, one in the Americas, we pretty much have a sense of like kind of what that is. Like for, you know, the outside speaking. He went to Switzerland or Norway or something like that. And their prisons were totally different.
Yeah, I heard they're great stays.
Yeah. Basically. So like they sitting there working on cars. Like these people have like normal lives. It's sort of a lockdown, but it's kind of like you got a studio apartment instead of like jail. It's like a studio apartment. It's peaceful. You know, the crazies are locked up in the crazy part, and the people who, you know, on here for weed or cocaine and like whatever the fuck, but got a right mind, they're in spots where they're just kind of like it kind of like that anger and all that shit just kind of filters out after a while, and that they're not around like crazy ass people that make them. I'm sure they're around something, but it's not like here.
Yeah,
and I can see that helping a person by breaking their habit of being in an environment that makes them think a certain way.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that.
Well, it also could go the other way. Is that this one dude that was locked up in like a Sweden prison? He had a why you laugh? Why you prepared to laugh?
I'm just expecting him to be a serial killer. He's like, it's the best. It's the best shit ever.
No. He his roommate. I'm tripping. His roommates was like, I rob banks, and you know I'm gonna get out in 6 months and do it again.
This is on record.
No, yeah. Well, he was saying it because he had went to prison in Sweden or somewhere, and then his roommate was like, "Yeah, I've just robbed banks, and I'm just so easy. I'm just keep on robbing them." Yeah. It just spent another 6 months.
Well, I guess you'll have people like that too.
Yeah, like okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not trying to kill each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I can say that this is not a true rehabilitation process.
Yeah.
It's very much a business, and it's ran like a plantation.
Yes.
And it could be ran much better if it wanted to and be more efficient and to help people grow. Now from what I hear, there are opportunities to grow in there, but it can definitely be a lot better than what it should be. But that's what essentially prisons are kind of made for. It was made for to lock people up so they can now you can be the property of the state instead of how slavery was, where you're the property of a certain individual. Now you're literally state property. Yeah, and you work for the state.
You're right.
So now so you're just really a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why everybody wanted weed offenses because it's like it's such lowly offenses, but it was one to help populate the prisons and to help work for people for low wages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's intentionally broken.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think it's so massive.
Machine, depending on who you ask. Yeah, because there's a lot of money to be made in prison.
It's definitely a machine. I feel like the whole system from the.
Because it's publicly traded companies that are prison penitentiaries. Like Core Civic is a one of them. That's a publicly traded company to where you can invest in it, and they work in they're in the prison system, like own properties and shit like that, or help run the system.
Nah, I hear a lot of backstories about that whole thing, from there to the police to the full rounded to the government, like a full rounded circle.
Yeah. That's where your conspiratorial brain goes. Because I remember, I need to read that book, but it was a guy who was one of the officers who was a part of. I don't think he was the one who shot Breonna Taylor. And he wrote a book about, not particularly it was an all encompassing book about how, it was the reason why we was even really out there for real. I'm paraphrasing and I could be wrong. Look it up yourselves. But there's gentrification going on, and so they wanted to remove people around the area, so they were going sweeping, and kicking doors and different things like that, to help gentrify for a huge property developer that was with cahoots to the mayor. And the police are just the enforcers of it. They don't know. The police officer's not gonna go know what's going on. Maybe the sergeant or the captain does know, and so they're the people that's enforcing the rule, so they can, like, hey, get this person, get this individual, because we're trying to get people as much out of here as possible, so we can develop this land that they're on, because now this property can be worth more. So they're just really, and he was trying to, I guess, break it down, and how the whole encompassing led to the situation that should have never happened.
That's yeah. I was talking about like back then, for real.
Oh yeah, no, but now, but now it's So there's enforcers, like even now, like it's little things I'll see, and when your brain goes that way, you will see it. So like there's this place off of Jefferson, has a lot of drug addicts, so. But they've been there for years. That shit's been the hot spot forever. Nobody's did anything about it. But now you go up there, that liquor store or that convenience store where they huddled out, now it's gated off. They said this is shut down by the city. Court order. Yeah. And no crackheads, no drug addicts there at all. Something that could have been cleaned up. But since there's so much gentrification around that area, now it's a problem because white people are getting uncomfortable.
And they're going to lose out on money.
Exactly. Because who wants to move there with a bunch of crackheads?
Thanks.
Yeah, so now they're kicking people out. Now that there's a Jack in the Box on Trinity Lane, a bunch of crackheads used to be there. You don't see none of them now. They taking. You should have seen, bruh. You should have seen. Barstool had their bar. There was under the bridge. There was a lot of crackheads used to be all the time. They swept that. When I was driving through the area, they was taking them away by the boatload. Yeah.
Taking them away how?
Prison.
You just snatched crackheads up?
I mean, yeah. You're right. Yeah. You can
easily.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Who's gonna fight for their rights? For real.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, they're homeless. They don't know what's going on.
You can get them on anything.
Yeah, of course. That's why.
Check your pockets over with.
Exactly. Anything.
Wow.
Were you gonna have some crackhead who knows the law for real? They're high as shit. like for real. Yeah, damn. Like you see how that dude was like squirming. Little dude was like squirming around and looking crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna feel bad for him. He don't got no family to fight for him. For real.
No.
Yeah. So when now that I'm giving you the info, you'll see it a lot more.
Yeah.
When you see the big towers, it's like, all right, they're gonna clean this up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I even saw when the tornadoes, natural disasters, developers love that. That's like buying. That's like buying low and selling high. Yeah. So yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So they do that then, huh?
Yeah. It's a game. It's capitalism. It's economics. When high demand, you raise the prices, or no, low supply, high demand, raise the prices.
Mm-hmm. I've ran into somebody who has a business of construction and rebuilding homes and roofs and stuff like that. And he told me, when I told him that I was out here in Nashville, he just said like, "Oh yeah, we definitely be doing business out there. Didn't it just flood out there?" And he said it like it was a payday for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Like they go to where the shit be, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they go to where it's like, didn't they have tornado? Like he almost got hype off that shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's how people make their livings. It sounds disgusting. That's how you eat. And I mean, and that's just makes people a consumer naturally, because now your insurance is going to go up. There's a claim on the home. Everything gets raised and everything costs more.
Mm-hmm.
So that just forces you to be a consumer, because you want to be the repairs to your home. Yeah. Because you're off doing what you're doing. You're providing for your family. You can't fix your roof too. Yeah. And still have a life of happiness. So it's all encompassing. Yeah. You'll be a consumer forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just to what degree.
That's a great traveling business, man. You'll always be in business.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Certain seasons, certain places.
Yeah, very much possible. I don't think that's very sustainable.
What?
No, I'm just saying in terms of you be traveling on the move. That's very much a what is people when you get fired, or a constant rotation of people? What is that called?
Temp hire.
No. It's like a ratio, but yeah, it's gonna come to me later on. But it's a revolving door of people to come in.
I mean, I guess.
Yes. So it's that process.
It's more like contractors, though. That's how I was thinking about it. It's just
maybe so you can eat off that. Why not?
Yeah. If your city, though, if your city has certain things that always happens.
Yeah. You're going to a city that you got to start hustling. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, Florida has hurricane season.
Yeah.
Like, so. Yeah. You can have like a certain amount of people that contracted to do this job that every single year you're gonna get that.
True.
Yeah. But what I meant by traveling, not necessarily like the boss travels, but like your business. Like you can have your business in Florida, you can have your business in wherever there's fucking tornadoes every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like tax season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for here we're probably boring people, but I don't know. But we got we're known for wind and hail damages big in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So roofs is our number one claims as far as insurance goes. So there's a lot of roofers here.
Man, hail was just coming down like
last week.
It was normal. Yeah, I was outside while it was happening, and I'm just like, it clearly wasn't dangerous or anything, but it was just falling, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is it looked just so natural and normal. I'm like, that's like hard rain.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just
it's like diamonds from the sky kind.
Yeah.
It's
like ding 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 ding. I'm like, damn, okay. The only time I remember hail for real, and it was just crazy, when I was in St. Louis one time, and that shit, I was young. I don't even remember St. Louis except the Ark. Have you ever been to the Ark?
No, I haven't.
Fucking scary.
Arch.
Arch.
Yeah.
Arch. Whatever. You go up this elevator and it goes all the way up, and you go to the top and you can oversee the city. And it was just scary going up. You ever rode the Zippin' Pippin?
No.
No. Well, the Zippin, it's a monumental roller coaster that used to be at Liberty Land in Memphis, which is a fair. It's like a fair that everybody went to every year, and it was just so. It was like the main roller coaster that everybody rode, but it felt so old that the roller coaster wasn't scary, but the safety that you felt being on it was scary. If you felt like you could just like get off the tracks, like while it's going, and I felt that going up the thing. But yeah, St. Louis, that shit was like this big, and I remember it hitting the car, and then it just felt like the glass was gonna crack at any moment.
I got you.
Yeah, that was the only time I felt like that.
Yeah, I'm cool on that.
But what else? What else been going on?
So Diddy's trial is starting to begin.
Oh, so it started.
I think so. Like this is
I
like
saw
the first
something
day.
about that.
Yeah. So do you got any early predictions? You think he's gonna get?
What is the charge? That
like he got a lot of stuff. Like I think he's got like a RICO charge, like prostitution charge. I'm sure like some sexual assault, like charges like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they'll have a lot of information, but I don't know. I'm really not sure. I just feel like the parties were just like freak parties, and in my head, I just feel like there's a way to get around it. Not like I'm saying he's 100% innocent and he did nothing wrong. I'm just saying like the way the shit is set up, it sounds to me more like
human trafficking, sex trafficking, stuff like that.
Like how it would have to be so concrete. Like everything I've heard is more like they was at this party, they was fucking, and the shit got crazy, and baby oil was there. You know, so you know what that means. You know, and it's just like, even if some wild shit was happening, the shit gotta be way worse than the Cassie video. Like in terms of like, not even fucking wise. And I saw something, and it said like somebody was peeing on her or some shit, and then I heard his daughters was in the room while they was saying that, and I was just like, damn, that sucks. But I just feel like they're gonna have a long list of freaky stuff to say, but like, and probably some things about his aggressiveness or whatever. But I don't know if there'll be just like some concrete. This is, look at this. Like this is clearly. He's trafficking this person. He's clearly.
Like they have the receipts. Like,
Like not like an argument.
They don't. I see what you're saying. I feel like they don't have that concrete receipts, but if you get some, it's very much a jury. So if you get enough people saying you did this thing,
they gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah.
They gonna get a lot of that. It's just like the nail in the coffin, that thing. I don't know. Because they would have had it already.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of this stuff. I think one is they throwing every charge at him and hoping that some stick. Yeah, and they can give him the lengthiest sentence of that charge. I think that's kind of how it is. And prostitution seems like that's going to be the biggest one. But he got to prove that he was the one who paid them, and you know what I mean. But so. I think that it'll be tough to find him. You have to make sure that the prosecution looks stupid as possible. So if he's able to do that and to look like, hey, they're clearly out just trying to get me for this reason. I think the lawyers would really have to go out and say, this is the reason why they're doing this thing, and they won't admit it to you, and that would be my approach, because these are clearly false charges, and they have no way of proving it by hearsay, and they're giving people who dislike him now, and who are making money from him or have made money from him, But there's a lot of things. So I think he has a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
But it just depends on how good his lawyers are and making them look stupid. And I would definitely give him a reason why they're doing this to him and why they're railroading him.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to show up the receipts. Now, I doubt that will happen, but that will be my angle every time.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious that there's something clearly going on.
Yeah.
And you can't have that many people out here trying to like that just don't fuck with you.
Well, so it's simple. It's simple, right?
You to get taken down.
Okay, so for them, for as many people that have been on Epstein Island and them not try to properly investigate and get people, thrown in prison for that, and it was just Jeffrey and Ghislaine, that they have a whole island. Who's maintaining this? There's a lot of people that's seen a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so for you to only convict 2 people shows you that you're not interested in getting people who are participating in these deviant things. Mm-hmm. So for them to get Puffy, it's more than just deviancy. It's something bigger than that. Mm-hmm. And so this is so we know it's BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was already getting Puppy before the Cassidy video. And and you're saying it's deviant. So we already know it's BS. So it's something bigger than that.
Yeah. I feel like, he pissed a lot of people off. But I mean, I hear
yeah.
It's just a lot of people that just want to come out and just say stuff. It's just kind of like, damn. I just remember hearing about Kid Cudi car blowing up, and after I heard that, I was just like, like I don't know, like it's got to be so concrete, like that, like shit like that has to lead directly back to him, and I don't think that's out there.
Yeah, do I think Puffy is a good person? No. Mm-hmm. I don't. Yeah. So that's a part of him is doing it to yourself. Clearly, he's living a deviant lifestyle. I'm not gonna commend that. It's just very immoral. Now, everything else implicates a lot of people that did this that got to tell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I ain't gonna I don't want any. So the biggest thing is the liquor company that he sued, and that's kind of what stemmed from this. Are you familiar with that?
That's right.
Yeah, but it's a parent company like DiMaggio or something like that was a brand he was suing because of his liquor company wasn't getting the marketing that the Casamigos was getting. Yeah, because they're in the same brand, and then he was suing them for like some civil rights type of thing, and it was a legitimate case. Mm-hmm. And so they was like, "You have the nerve to sue me." I'm paraphrasing, and obviously I'm assuming because I have no idea. And then like, "You have the nerve to sue me knowing what you about?" All right, bet. Well, we about to. Yeah, you ain't about to get a substantial amount of money. We finna get you for that. Mm. So yeah, you're definitely much a nigga, and we ain't gonna be You ain't gonna be stopping us. So that was kind of the gist of it. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it's stemming from. Otherwise, he's been doing this for years. There's so many stuff that's been out here. A lot of people know a lot of different things. And so if they actually want to get him if it was something he was doing wrong, they would have did it a long time ago. Because these Puffy stuff and allegations been out for years. Yeah. So it's not just their first time catch wind of it. Everybody's heard about it. Everybody's been talking about it. You had several different videos on Vlad TVs of everything that's happened. They very much seen it all. So it's a reason why it's happening now, and it's definitely, I feel like, because of that liquor company and them hitting that button. Yeah.
I feel like it's usually some big thing when huge people fall. Yeah, like not necessarily like his case where he clearly has things behind him. But I'm saying like Michael Jackson, Prince. I feel like when the money shit really is then that shit starts to get shaky, then random shit starts to happen.
Because a lot of people collude with each other, and it's a small group of people. Yeah, that work together to make stuff happen. And people get paid off. There's a lot of bribes that go around, so there's a lot of money in the air, and that's the way. That's the rules people play under, and that's why. I mean, this is not our home. This is very much temporary. Everybody gets to face the judgment of the Lord, so that's what I go back to. So you can't really be stuck on what is devilish, demonic behavior. Straight up, and the devil comes in different forms. Sometimes you think you're doing the right thing, but really you're not. So the devil has his hands to play in everything, and that's kind of what I chuck it up to. Yeah. It's like, all right, you want to be on some demonic, sinful stuff. All right, bet that's going to be what comes of it. And and the root of evil, money is the root of all evil. Is that what they say?
I've heard.
Or for the love of money? No, for the love of money. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, I should know this actually.
No, I've heard money is the root of all evil, but I've heard the opposite.
What? What's the opposite? Not having money is not evil?
No, as in like it's basically in the eye of the beholder. Like I can use money to make the world better, but like you could use the money to be selfish and greedy and da da da.
Yeah, but the more money you have, the less likely you're going to use it to make the world better. Because so many little people do. If so many people did, the world wouldn't be where it's at.
I don't.
It's so many.
That's a nice point. However, I don't feel like we weren't supposed to have abundant lives. I don't feel like abundant lives in like being a king, queen, being leaders in communities, having people that you can lead, and this, that, and the other. I feel like wealth is a part of that. So I don't think just having money is just like the root of evil. I think if I were to think like that, then it could be. But
well, I'm not saying being wealthy is in nature evil. That's not what I'm saying. I think that it can very much lead to that, and I'll have to send you the Bible scripture. But the more money you have, the harder it is to live a more noble life, and that's just how it goes. Definitely in this society. And so my thing is, who are some several people that's doing it right?
I mean, there will be no way to tell. I also feel like the more money you have, the easier it is to, not necessarily the easier it is. Everything gets harder, I do believe, as you get more and more and more and more and more and more. But I'm saying more so if there was a person who did not want to be the face of anything, I think it's super easy to like hide out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I point to this is because when I said the people who is doing right, because you're right, very much right in saying, there's no real way of knowing that, but you can name the people who are doing wrong. Way easier.
That's what I'm saying. They're usually the face of something.
No, I'm just saying. It's just in general. You can just name a lot of people who have a bunch of money that's doing it wrong.
I mean, I don't really know too many. That.
I'm just saying the billionaires that you can name, are they doing it right?
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Of course not. I'm just saying because you would know if they were. Because why wouldn't you know? Because it'll be a lot of wealth they'll be distributing to others to make sure. Because one, you don't need all of it,
right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that them and themselves are evil, but you can clearly like, hey, they're hoarding a lot of it. They're not doing it right. Yeah. Because they're part of America. They can. All the people that's wealthy that was at Trump's inauguration can instill change that you could very well see if they would saw fit.
Yeah,
you're like, hey, bro, Chicago was the worst city. They could put their money and put into Chicago, and it'd be very light for them as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just saying you could see people who are doing you could do it right.
I also feel like there's a lot of people that don't show what they do.
I think that's more cap than what you believe it is.
I don't think I would. I
So
think
if
I
you,
would much. I think I would. I don't know. It's like even.
I think that you would, like I said, even to Tory Lanez, he's in prison and he's showing the ability of what he's doing while he's in the impacting.
Yeah, that's different. Well, let's say that I had like a whole lot of I'm a billionaire, and I got a bunch of people out of jail. I wouldn't post it. Like it wouldn't be like that for me.
But you will post your 1,000 cars on Instagram?
No.
Okay, so but we see a lot of that happening.
Yeah, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about me.
Yeah. Okay, that's easy enough to say.
Okay.
So
I'm saying there got to be people out there, but that's because there isn't.
Yeah, there are.
You
people
don't
out
have
there.
the other way to look at that because I feel like there are people out there that actually don't show you what they're doing.
But that's my point is you see more people doing it wrong than you see them doing it right. So it's easier to see that if,
I can agree with that.
if money was done right and the wealth of money was ultimate ultimate good. Like I was just saying, my argument was the more money you have, the tougher it is to live a righteous life. It's pretty much what my argument was. And so I'm able to see that visually. I'm not saying that being wealthy is bad, but it's tougher to live a righteous life with wealth. I'm not saying that I don't want no money. I would like to be wealthy, but I do know that it will be tougher to live a more righteous life because of it. And you can visually see. That's why I was name the billionaires. And you're like, I wouldn't do this. It's like, yeah, I understood you wouldn't do that. I'm not saying every person who's rich is evil, but I'm just saying you can see so many people doing it wrong. Because otherwise, you will see a lot more people helping out others than versus what you see with the cars. That you see more of the cars on Instagram than you see them helping out the community. You see more them flashing their wealth, knowing how much they got, versus them helping the community. You just see it naturally.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can really disagree with that because you can see that in your own eyes. Is that not what
we're
you see?
only targeting a certain people though, and they're like, I don't have my argument. I will say that my argument isn't strong enough to go back and forth with you on it because what I'm saying is for the people that we cannot see. So yeah, you're right because I see the cars, I see this and that, I see the face of Tesla, the face of Facebook, the face of Amazon, the face of they're it's something that is attached to something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we literally can see them. So yeah, we're looking at them. But my argument was that I believe that there has to be people that don't care about being like faces of certain things or like I'm the one who did this, and is more of like, I don't know, like a Batman per se.
I think those are few and far between versus what you're making. They're not an abundance of them.
There's not an abundance of billionaires. There's not an abundance of.
I didn't just say billionaires. I just use wealth as an example. I said flashy cars. I don't see Zuckerberg flashing his Bugatti if he got one. I'm just saying in general.
I mentioned them because you said
the Trump inauguration, and
just saying how certain people who's doing it right. Yeah. So I was just assuming that you were talking about the people that we do know who has the most fucking money. We ain't like, you could have did this and you could have built this city up and da-da-da. That's why I named those people.
Yeah, and I was really saying if you can name the people who are doing right, I can name 10 more people who's doing it wrong.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you're saying that all these people are Supermans and they don't want to be known for anything that they're doing right. It's like, yeah, those noble people are few and far between. Because even if that's the case, I'm the person that's why I was like, I take back the Tory Lanez situation because I'm like, show it. That should be inspiring other people on to being helpful because people are not knowing, the idea of like, hey, I actually, helping out blind children is actually cool. Let me get on that. You know what I mean? Showing off, or not showing off, or inspiring people to create change is an added benefit to society. Why wouldn't you want to glorify that?
I mean, I agree with that. I don't know. I'm just not in that space, so like I don't know. I don't know the type of decisions that need to be made. Like you're literally in a position of power to where you can move chess pieces on the board.
Yeah,
I feel like that's dangerous. Like that's a dangerous spot to be in.
of course.
So
that's how you know they're doing it wrong, because it's a dangerous spot to be. So
doing it right means you're dead. Or does it? That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what's the right.
I mean,
wrong.
We're talking about levels to this, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, Zuckerberg doing it right, probably. Yeah, him doing it right. Yeah, he gonna face some consequences for his actions, because you're not beholding to the system at that point.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right about that, but that's how you know that they're doing it wrong, because they're beholding to a system that allows them to flourish in it. So you got to be beholding and doing some probably sadistic things that you probably know is wrong in your consciousness that you got to be a part of.
So you don't think that there's a way to be one of the wealthiest people on the planet and just live a good, fulfilling...
How do you do that? I'm like because one...
No.
So I don't. I mean, unless you're a complete innovator that changed the game on something that's nobody's ever brought to life. Because even like the Nikola Tesla, the person who was inspired the Tesla company, or where the name came from, they said he created energy from thin air. Yeah, that you can actually create energy from just the air, and that be able to power something. They said that's what killed him. Mm-hmm. So So you being that type of innovator, you're not gonna be long lasting. Only you're a capitalistic society, so you need a certain amount of people to work for you in somewhat you're in a competition platform. So there's a business that you're probably gonna take out of business in order to flourish. So I mean, you're a giant. You're going to step on people. Mm-hmm. To get to where you're going. Mm-hmm. How many companies did Jeff Bezos? You hear him all the time, like Netflix, Blockbuster is out, Amazon's out, Toys R Us is gone, this is gone. It's like, there's a lot of businesses that are destroyed because of your presence. So it's not going to just be no happy-go-lucky to where everybody wins when you're... Now, a lot more people wins when you're here, but you're definitely going to step on and destroy some stuff on the way up.
I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown, though.
Yeah.
So you're just saying it's not possible.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's going to. That's why I said it got to be some type of innovate. You got to create something that cures cancer. For you not to do that, even then you're going to probably destroy some medical companies. They're going to
be after your ass.
Yeah. So sure, but I'm just saying, even then you're going to destroy some some healthcare fields in that process. So it's never just a clean slate. There's going to be somebody whose life is ruined because you got into the game if you're going to flourish.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's drivers drive every day to fulfill package, and they get attacked by dogs and die.
Where did we just go?
I'm just saying, like, just because of your business presence, people are going to be working for you, and in the process of them not working, they're going to be getting paid to make your business money and for you to be profitable, and they're going to die in that act. I'm not saying you're evil because of that. I'm just saying there's just no clean slate to it. It's pretty much what I'm saying, and I can say we could all have that, but that simple form to it. And I don't want to take it that far because I just did. But nonetheless, you are going to be stepping on toes anytime you're getting up that to some type of power.
I would definitely assume that. I guess that's not really where I was coming from. The main thing that I was saying was, I think the base of the foundation of what we were talking about was, from my point of view, all I was trying to say is I do believe, I don't know, because I feel like with every tier of life, with every tier of success and status and wealth, and leadership roles and all this shit. Like, it's going to come with something. But I do feel like we were not supposed to be like the middleman. I feel like, well, I mean, I can't say everybody because that's kind of like, there are people that just like love to work. There are people that love the McDonald's job and love that type of stuff. And I have friends that, they just like, they love just doing this thing, not even caring about a management role or whatever. They just want to do this one thing. But inside, I do feel like a lot of us are not meant to do that. Like we're actually meant to be wealthy. We're meant to change the world in a good way. And, and with sometimes, or what I'm speaking of is a lot of resources, a lot of wealth and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great, but I think it's wishful thinking in a lot of things. Definitely, if you don't have God in mind, I don't. Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from religion, and giving back is not on the forefront of people's minds, and I just see it more times than not. I mean, of your friends who got a little bit of money, do you see them truly impacting people's lives on a daily basis?
The quick answer is no.
On a weekly basis, maybe. Like for the good. Like, hey, bro, I'm about to actually volunteer for the homeless.
Periodically, not weekly. No.
I mean, monthly. Like, periodically, they'll do something nice for somebody every once in a while. Yeah. But this altruistic person that you feel that exists, there's a lot of them.
That's very interesting.
But I think that's more.
That's very interesting.
That is such a small percentage. It's almost negligible. Yeah, and that's somebody who comes from a mentor who's in the advocacy space. When we talk about the church, my church in particular, they go over and beyond to where you don't have time to
watch a show,
invest in a business. Because they're investing in a business and bigger brand and make it as big as what you think it should be, because you're working with people who need help. So for example, they go to we had at one point in time before COVID, after church, go to the nursing home. We gotta sing, we gotta do prayer, we gotta pass out stuff. We there's a funeral, we gotta go and speak at the funeral, be a part of it, and do usher. There's just so many. Then they got we got gospel meetings. So gospel meetings, we go to different church, speak, be a part of. There's just so much things that you can do that take so much of your time, from jails to prisons. Like, all those are not going to enrich you.
It could. Enrich. Okay,
yeah. So the people that you speak of, is going to be very tough for them to make money, because they're working within the community on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, to where it makes it more difficult to spend that time, because you got to give your time somewhere. There's only 24 hours in a day. You got to eat, sleep, and take care of your family.
I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. It's like, I can. It's great to think how you're thinking, but to me, it's a little bit naive at the end of the day, because if we should be able to name those people if it was such an abundance of it happening.
I still don't think they saved everything. It's kind of corny to do that.
What?
Just like, I don't know. Like, anytime I see somebody helping somebody and they post it, it's just like, all right. So if you keep going up the ladder, I can for sure expect people to help out, and we never hear.
Of course, they like I said, it's periodic. They will help out, and they'll help out sometimes. If I ain't never helping out nobody and I help out this one person, it will be corny to post that. But if I do this work on a daily basis, then you post it to inspire, because that's the work that you do. You're in the advocacy space. You're making change. It's only right for somebody who's in the church to post what they do for the church. So that may be inspire somebody else. That may give somebody closer to God. That may bring more people in. That may inspire more people to help. Why would you not post that? But if you're doing a clout thing every once in a while, it's like, bruh, this is not what you're known to be. You're only chasing clout just to get for likes. Yeah, that's one thing. But if this is what you truly about, that's not clouty at all, and that's easily able to discern. So.
I mean, in a way, I don't know. I can see both. Like I can see, I don't know. I can see both. I can see someone. I see what you're saying about someone having, periodic stuff or whatever, but I also see somebody knowing that this business that they're running will definitely help out way more people than if they were available every Friday and Saturday to help out people. You know what I'm saying?
But that sounds good in theory, but that's ultimately not what happens, because then
that's exactly what happens though.
So
you run the business, Tyler Perry can run the business, do this, be I guess a billionaire now. Yeah. And then now every Christmas, Thanksgiving, this day and this day, he helps so many people because he built this thing that can, yes, he can probably step on toes and do this and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has built a consistent cycle of resources that can also be filtered out into the community.
And that's why I feel like the naive stuff comes into place. Yeah, you can have Tyler Perry, who helps out a lot of people in situations to that can uplift some people at moments. Mm-hmm. But you also hear Tyler Perry can ruin your life if you hear from stories like Monique. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have stories of him helping, you have stories of him not helping. But there's also, when I talk about the naive part about it, is it's a business. It is every business is a risk. So the odds of you getting to a Tyler Perry are very slim. Mm-hmm. Anybody, not just saying you in particular. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to put a lot of money back in your business to grow it. So you're not going to be having this altruistic approach of giving away at a time. That's not how it goes. So you're going to be investing in people. So the less likely you are to just give it bluntly are very more slim.
But I mean, that would be stupid.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. So you're ultimately agreeing with me. So
no, I'm saying that you can. Point. My point is that you can be this person to.
We all agree on that.
So what are you not understanding what I'm saying?
That the odds of that happening is very slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we all agree that you can be a good person and have money. I've never disagreed with you on that. But I'm just saying you would see that more times than not if that was the odds of it happening. I said the odds of that not happening are slimmer. Yes, you can give money periodically. I give money to the homeless every time. Mm-hmm. Am I impacting their lives? Not really. And to a certain degree. But this ain't something that's going to save them. But if I'm making a true impact, that's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of investment to actually make. But yeah, I could buy toys for somebody every Christmas. That was a nice gesture for sure. Mm-hmm. But we talking about impact. We talking about change. Yeah. Tyler Perry buying everybody who was on layaway is a nice gesture.
You don't think there's anything deeper than that these people have done?
I'm sure there is possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure, but also they are wealthy billionaires that have destroyed people as well. That's what I'm saying. So
it just sounds like you say ain't nobody good out there.
I don't know why you keep on saying that. Where are you getting that from?
Because you keep going back to.
Because I'm saying
he did that, but
because I said the odds are of you. The more wealthy, the more difficult it is. I've said that in the beginning. So I'm just saying, for every person that you can name, I can name 10 other people. I'm not saying that there's nobody that does good ever when they got money. That is not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying there are more cases than not of people showing you that the more wealthy you get, the more difficult it is to actually do good with it. Now, can you do good things? Absolutely. But the odds of that happening over the course of time are slimmer than it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I just said that that with my argument too, that there are other people, it would just be hard to even fight that because like I said, we can only go off of what we see. So
yeah, like that's anything, right?
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We only have that evidence of what we know to be true. And I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, then if this was not the case, then you would see a lot more. It would be obvious to us. But since it's obvious, it's hard time for us to think, and we can think of people how they're using those ways for bad, then it's not obvious. And that just easily from our vision and our own experience, that you can see that the more wealth you get, the more difficult it is to be righteous with it.
I mean, that's shit. That's shit been in so many songs.
Yeah.
Like, and you see it a lot too. I mean, that's hard to. It's literally like you can only outside looking in, until you like literally in that situation. Because I do feel like most of those people, like I said, can move chess pieces on the board.
Yeah.
And that shit is like crazy. Like Beyonce or Jay-Z can inspire people to pick another president. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. They have a lot of influence and clout, a lot of money.
Those are people that's like in the face.
They do great things,
of the crowd.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to discourage people from getting wealthy, and that's what it's probably what it sounds like you're somewhat defending. It's like, bro, I want to be wealthy and I want to make great changes. It's like, yeah, that sounds noble now, but that is way more difficult than whatever you think is going to happen. It just is naturally, because otherwise everybody would have a school. It would be so noticeable that it's like, dang, this is something I aspire to. But I'm saying, if it was that easy, then you would see it just naturally.
I never said it was easy.
Yeah, but it was the way you spoke on it and the way you defended it where I was like, okay.
I feel like there are a lot of people that even I don't know these people verbatim, but I just see it a lot, like in the Bible, that people had stuff like abundance of things, of land, animals, this, that, community, the leaders of certain communities, whatever. It was just like, and then they built a whole city here. Then they did this. Like, that's not just in today's land, a nigga with a couple $1,000. Like, that's like people who can move and shake some shit. I feel like there are a lot of people that that live a certain way that don't even know that, like, a lot of us actually, I feel, are actually supposed to be wealthy, and we're like trained in this mind that we're not supposed to have, or we can only get to set level. And I think it's all like a trick. I feel like it's a mental thing. So yeah, I wasn't battling anything you said. Honestly, like, I agree with like most of what you were saying. I just feel like there's a disconnect sometimes, because I used to think that my first thing I used to think was like, man, money is the root of all evil. Like, I don't never want like too much money because da 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 da. I used to say shit like that all the time.
And I think it's for the love of money. Yeah.
What do you mean?
For the love of money is the root of all evil or something like that.
But,
I think I have to relook at the scripture. But I'm not saying that inspiring to be rich is a bad thing. To have wealth is not in itself a bad thing, but it's harder to be righteous.
No, life's got to be more. It changes everything.
So that's what I'm saying. It makes things more difficult when you have more money.
No, absolutely. And going back to your point of like you will have to step on like the bigger your block is, it lessens somebody's block.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And then there are other powers that be that see you and like, nigga, you're
like,
not
hold
gonna
on,
get
you're
that
doing,
big.
you're doing a lot right now.
You're doing too much.
And exactly. And then there's a lot of balance. Even my small little circle, it's like people see you doing right and they don't like it. Yeah.
You felt that before?
I feel like they may not love where their life is, and it's less of working together, and you can see there's some jealousy that happens there.
I hate that word.
What you mean?
Jealous?
What do you, so we'll break it down for me. What you mean?
There was shout out to my friend. I'm not gonna say certain names or whatever. Yeah, we really ended today, huh?
Yeah.
But shout out to my friends and my close friends and stuff. But there's two different situations that I'm gonna say, and I've always just been this way of like I could have a hole in my shoe and there could be a dude next to me with some nice shoes on. I'd be like, hey, them hoes fresh. Like I've always been like that. So I had a friend once. He was like, something was happening with you, and he just said like, and I just got jealous. Like I got jealous like when you did this and but he said it in a way like it was okay. It was just because the word didn't mean how I take it.
Understood.
Which is like, I believe is the reality of the word, which is like, it's not of God for real, bro. The shit is like literally hating. You're hating. And then you're using your shit to cloud, the thought of we could be doing this together or whatever. And it's just kind of like, that would make you sad to see me win more. I had friends that got the new whip every other week, this, that, and I'll see their page. And then I'm like, if there is a sense of that, because there have been times where I haven't been like where I am here or the spread or the gap between me and like a successful friend was like huge. And initially looking at it, and I think depending on who I was hanging around and all that type of shit, probably had like some of that in it. But as soon as any of that shit gets in my head, like, damn, like, this might keep winning.
so he probably should have used the word insecure. That made me insecure, but that's less of a word that he probably wants to say in front of anybody.
Yes, that type of shit. And then that happened in a relationship as well. I was in, and I used to think so highly of that person that like to me they were always winning. They were always doing so well, and I'm like, I knew that every day I was working to catch up to wherever the fuck they was going. Because to me, in my head, they were so much farther than me. And then one day I looked up and I had, I was just doing a lot of things that were I feel like on the path to my purpose and stuff like that. And it was all like at once. And then they just told me one day while they were basically going through depression. And they were like, I'm just like kind of jealous of like what you have going and this and that. And then that kind of like broke my heart because I'm like, damn.
That's somebody you're in a relationship?
In a relationship with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, like, through this whole relationship, I never you were winning the whole time. And like, I'm sitting here looking at your wins like, man, Steve, you got to get this shit together because your ass going to be left behind. And, not in the term of I'm jealous, but just like, a motivational, like fire under the ass type thing. Like, you have to keep elevating people around you. And I just take jealousy as just like this thing that is just not, it's not good. It's literally, to me, I take it as bad. Like get away.
Yeah, that's a bad word to use.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, do they want to see you succeed? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're just what they really probably mean is, hey, I'm insecure.
Yeah.
Because you're doing so well, and it shows me how it's highlighting my failures in their way.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I can't match that.
Yeah. I think insecure is definitely the better word.
Yeah. But at the end of it, because, jealous, I feel like that's something they say, I don't want you to have that thing.
Because it makes me feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that could be a part of it.
Yep.
But that's very hateful. But I think they want you to have it, but they want more for themselves too. And if they had more than themselves, then they wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a
insecure.
It's a thin line.
Yeah,
it's very blurry right there. It can literally.
But that's not. But if that person felt that way for you, they have a lot of healing for themselves to do, and can't be a great partner to anybody if they have that mindset.
Yeah,
because it's okay to like, damn, I should have been, or like you could feel like, damn, I wanted that too.
Yeah,
like, he got that before I did.
Yeah,
that's a part of you. But if that's a strong feeling constantly, like that's a damn feeling. But everybody, you may feel something at the one like, bro, I'm hating. Like and then you move on. You be happy for him.
That should be coming real quick for me.
I mean, it's a competitor. Like like a football game, you just beat our ass. You know what I mean? Yeah. That could be jealous, but at the same time, I wanted to win. You know what I mean? But if that's a long-lasting feeling and you hate them because of it, that's some stuff you got to heal. But hey, but you could be like, bro, I wanted that so bad, but the best man won.
Yeah. There are definitely different ways of saying things. I guess that's just one of my things. It's just like that jealousy shit. And of course, like the situations that I talked about, these aren't people who are just like straight up just like evil people, But I do feel like huge, big things, huge tragedies, huge shifts, and starting or ending relationships do start small. And that shit is just like a scary thing for me to hear, because it's kind of like foreshadowing a little bit.
Yeah. But I think we did it.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Yeah. Well,
and here I am, still slumped down.
Yeah. I think we all got there. I was trying to fix it, knocking things over in the middle of it. But hey, we're here. We at the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, this is Two for the Culture. Hey, we'll be back for another episode. I love y'all.
We'll be back.